it's impossible that he doesn't talk about it on stage tonight, right?
Oh, he's got to.
If he did a whole out, like a 90-minute set of, hilarious Chris Rock comedy, which I'm sure would be good, but then said, okay, good night, I'm out, thanks for coming. But people would start booing if he didn't mention.
They'd slap him again.
But here's something I didn't know. So this surfaced just a couple of months ago. He was doing a podcast with his buddy David Spade from back in the SNL days and talking about all the fights he was getting in as a kid because he was little, and he says because he was black and got bused to a white school, he was getting beaten up all the time. I'm horrified by the idea that white kids would be beating up a little black kid because he's black, but that's what Chris Rock. Oh, it's beyond horrible. But anyway, he, at one time, in one of the many fights he got into, there was one kid that was causing particular problems. He put a brick in a sack and took it to school, hit the kid with a brick, which put him down, and then stomped his face, he says, like Joe Pesci, to the point that he was worried he'd killed the guy. Oy! So that's the sort of scrapping background Chris Rock has, and he had to get therapy because he was so worried about his own temper and how far he had gone. And since then, he was always really works to keep his temper in check because he realizes how far he can go when he gets set off, which might have been a little of his kept his hands behind his backs, continued to stand there calm, is that he deals with that apparently with a therapist on a regular basis because he's scared of his own temper and what he has done in the past in fights, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, wow. So, that is some story. So I'm sure it will leak out to a certain extent what he says tonight on stage in his first appearance of saying anything since the incident.
Hey, Michael, play clip 11. This is Jada Pinkett Smith, who started all that. Well, she kind of was in the middle of all of it.
I had to learn to get the courage to just go, nah, I'm not doing that. Which is why I feel the freedom today. I don't give two craps what people feel about this bald head of mine, because guess what? I love it.
That was 3 days before her husband beat a man down for referencing her bald head.
And then, whatever. I think